I do believe we're live. So I'll say, indeed, and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. Thank you for joining me again, for sharing another moment, for releasing any tension, and for remembering union and diversification. Yeah, yeah. Today's whole stream is going to be about exactly that. You know, that for some reason we have this goal as humanity. We have this goal as a community, right? To bring more union into the world. But it can sometimes be selfish. Selfish from the perspective of wanting it to be one way instead of another, right? That we can only be united if me and you believe the exact same thing. We feel the exact same way about something. We do the exact same things. But there is more union in diversity than there is in similarity. At least that's the way that I've been trying to think about it since the experience I had yesterday. Realizing that there is only a union of all the experiences if all of us have our experiences the way we're supposed to, right? And encouraging that, celebrating that even. It's so nice having you friends here with me. Shan, sending you love and thank you for joining. Natalie's here too, brother Duck That. Saying good morning, you flesh vehicles, bursting with potential and love. Yeah, yeah. Love you, my coffee. Ah, yesterday was quite an experience. I had a good time. I had a real good time. I started my journey uh, by spending an hour meditating. That was so nice. I was sitting on that rock. It was getting dark. The dogs and the cats were there with me. I was listening. I was reflecting on the mental stories I tell myself. I was reflecting on what it meant to be a good person. I was reflecting on this whole experience we went through with the dogs yesterday. And I could feel these lessons almost crystallizing into my body, right? Like there was these lessons that are kind of like ethereal out there, and because of like my sitting down and just paying attention to it, it felt like it became more a part of me. And I shared with a few friends that I've been called to watch this movie, The Magician's Elephant, and I didn't have a sneak peek of it even. Like I saw the trailer for a second, then I looked away from the trailer because I didn't want even the trailer spoilers to influence my watching of it. And then I did. I did. I basically came into the rest of the experience, right? Like some of you friends might know that the psychedelic experience, the start of it can be the most rocky because you're basically required to let go of the way things used to be, the way you think things are supposed to be, the capacity, if you will, that you usually have gets altered, right? And then you have to realize that there is a whole diverse frequency of experiences to be had. And as I embrace these experiences, as I sit down and watch this movie, I melt over and over and over again. I was crying like a baby watching that movie. I feel like I needed, those cries as well. Like there's so many scenes that will absolutely blow your mind. The way they touched on topics so sensitive, topics like none of my business, right? Other people's problems are none of my business. The impossible becoming possible. The cliche, and we're gonna do a whole stream about this. And I know it's kind of unoriginal, maybe that's the right word. The impossible, right? I'm possible. There's a line in that movie where someone says to the boy, "You are what is possible." And I had to pause the movie. I burst out in tears. I'm getting emotional just thinking about it again. Realizing that every single one of us are the impossible, right? Like it's statistically impossible for you to exist. And yet here you are, right? Beautifully so. And that is our diversity. That every single one of us is that which is possible. Otherwise we wouldn't be. And it's sticking. You see it's sticking. That and the power of belief. What it means to have magic, right? Hope. So much hope. Your friends give me so much hope. And I honestly believe that this hope that we're creating together is going to save the world. Might be a little bit of a pipe dream. Might be impossible. I'm like, golly. If you if we were going to be stopped, that would be the last of me. Mojo, sending your love. Mel was the movie The Magician's Elephant. The Magician's Elephant. Uh, yeah, you need to watch it. Watch it with the kids, please. Watch it 50 times over. Watch it with them every single day for the next 60 years. That movie kind of like shook me. It like straight up grabbed me by my collar and was like, "Hey, oh, fine. Remember what it is you're doing. Remember why it is you're doing what it is you're doing." All it takes is one person to have hope, right? Just one person. And you are that one person. You are the person that is capable. It is possible for you to be that one person. Natalie, I'm going to guess the second one, but I would totally watch a movie about a doctor and his nurse assistant elephant. That would be kind of rad. It's like, Nurse Elephant, please give me swabs. And then you get the little trunk. The magician's elephant, I think Natalie, which is probably a far better choice than the one I made. Sam, so much love. Shan, thank you for the love as well. I see Jovan here as well, sending you love. Joy Beef, there she is, sending you love, and it's nice having you, friend. Got it now, thanks. Google offered to open on Netflix, setting up for watch later. Yep, it is on Netflix. It is so good. Like, I want to watch it again now. That's how good it is. And I don't watch movies twice, or at least I don't like to, because I'm like, I already know what's happening. There's no intrigue. There's no novelty. Yeah, that's the word. Oh, there's nothing special because I've already seen how special it is. Nah, that movie. It felt seriously like such a beautiful encapsulation of the message we've been trying to share in these streams. You know, in a fairy tale esque depiction, very much so. Beautifully stylized. So many freaking Dega symbols. Oh goodness. I don't think I've seen that many Dega symbols in a single movie. It was kind of overwhelming. I was like, thank you. I'm receiving the message. I'm receiving again, JV, love you. It's true. I am often called impossible. Kim Possible. Oh, Kim Possible. Chin chin chin. Stuck on my brain. S-Rock is here too, sending you love and friend. He said, Nancy is also here, saying good morning and love you all. Mel, I was listening to the YouTube video before your stream on Pluto and Aquarius, and your experience is very in line with what the astrologer was talking about. How about that, Nancy? You see, like this is something that kind of fascinates me. I'm not into astrology, right? At least I don't think I am, to the capacity that I don't seek out information about astrology actively, right? I know I'm a Taurus. I know there are some traits associated with being a Taurus that I can identify with and be like, yeah, that is kind of me. But I am not in tune, if you will, with all of the happenings. And yet, we are in tune with all of the happenings because you cannot not be in tune with the everything, right? Diversity of movement that is our planetary bodies, the spin of our planet, our moon cycle, the oscillation of Earth around our star. There are so many, again, touching on a few streams back, frequencies being induced, that there's music being played in the kind of like cycle that our planets turn around our sun. If you could have them like as beat variations, they make music, right? And so do you. Your heartbeat is a literal beat. Ceaselessly. You are that which is music, dear friend. Thank you for saying that to me, Nancy. Sending you so much love. I love to reach what movie. Some movies I've watched over 100 times. What movie? I need to know what movie Joy V would watch 100 times. I don't think I've seen a single. Maybe no, no. I don't even think I've seen a single movie 100 times. Which movie did you watch 100 times? I'm really curious because I want to watch it at least once. Does it have any scary to a 4-year-old moments? No, no. It's very much a kids movie. Yeah, there's nothing that I would think a 4-year-old isn't supposed to see. I'm like scanning it over and over again in my head, trying to be super mindful. I'm like watching it as a 4-year-old, and there's nothing that I go. All of it is like, yeah, yeah, it feels pretty sick. And then after I watched that movie, I took a break. I went and exercised. It feels amazing. Like straight up, one of the best experiences you could have exercising while tripping on LSD. It feels so good. It's like you're so connected to every single fiber of your own body in a way that makes you feel so in control and so stable. Like sometimes with exercise, it can feel like you're pushing yourself, right? And that can be good. I'm all for pushing yourself, but it can be exhausting to feel like you need to be pushed in order to push yourself, right? Where in the experience I had last night, there was no push. There was just a showing up for and then a deep flow within. And I was like, yes. Over and over again, went back and forth exercising in between, kind of like giving myself an experience to have. And the second movie I watched was Over the Moon. And I think that's an old one. It's a movie about a girl kind of being attached to this story. Her mom passed away, and her mom used to tell her the story of Quan Xin. Is that her name? The moon goddess. The story goes, and I'm kind of paraphrasing. She had a love. There was some sort of immortality pills. There was some bad guys trying to get the immortality pills as well. She kept both pills in her mouth for safekeeping, and then she ended up swallowing both and was the only one to ascend to immortality, leaving her beloved behind. And then the mom was the one that passed away, and the dad of this little girl had to marry again. And then the dynamic that kind of goes around that, like it felt like watching an LSD trip, that whole experience. And it was also, again, so in tune with what we've been trying to share in this experience. I was like, I feel I learned more about Chinese culture in watching that movie than I did staying there. And that feels very naive of me to say. I stayed there for a year and a half, and I felt I could see more into the Chinese psyche, the spirit of those beings, right? And it made me so empathetic, right? So loving towards them. This understanding of the divine masculine and the feminine is very much present in that as well. And yet I still feel there's, excuse me, their story of it still creates too much separation, right? Because in this, the moon, right? The actual moon is this female goddess, and her, beloved is stuck on Earth. And even though I feel that, right, like this dance that is the moon and the Earth with one another, your ability to see the moon is the relationship you have with her, right? Your ability to see anything at all is your relationship you have with her. Her being the divine feminine, your seeing being the divine masculine, right? That all of us have masculine qualities. And I believe that masculine quality is our awareness of being, that which is unchanged. And then that which we're aware of, the change, the movement, the whole, is the feminine. And it was this beautiful story on loss. That was like basically what the story was about, like losing a family member, losing a mom, and how do you get over it, right? How do you move on? How do you love another? How do you not isolate yourself, creating a small little ball and hiding away from the rest of the world? How do you let love in, even when it feels like it's been ripped from you? And there was like a moment where I was crying my eyes out as well, where they were talking about once you lose the person you love the most, you're never the same again. And I'm feeling like crying just thinking about it, because it makes sense to me why I'm so careful when it comes to relationships, right? Like I am I don't want to use the word scared. I am so sensitive to that understanding that I don't know if I would be okay losing a person that I give my heart to completely. So I don't, at least not right now. And I have to almost like be okay with letting go before I can be okay with receiving first. And like receiving that kind of like message from this, experience, it still resonates. You friends obviously came up to my mind so many times. Like the amount of fractals of you friends that I saw, the amount of love I sent all of you. I hope you received it. Thank you for joining me, for spending some time. I actually tend to prefer movies that I've seen before. How about that? Joy Vive, that is me with the Green Mile, Shawshank Redemption, and Teledan Nights. How about that? Those are some fire ones. I actually like to put movies on that I like and only listen to the audio while I'm working. Really makes you appreciate the dialogue. Moneyball is a fantastic one for that. I don't think I've seen Moneyball. What movie did you watch 100 times? I'm also curious, Zano. Thank you for asking. Brother Ryan is here. Heather too. Brother Joe Schmo as well. Even Grace. Sending all of you so much love. Thank you for joining me. I like rewatching fantasy movies, looking for t-shirts and cowboy hats. I don't really understand what those words mean, Sam. Do you mean like you're looking for merchandising opportunities? Or do you actually do you watch fantasy movies to see t-shirts and cowboy hats? I'm confused. I love Moneyball, especially since it's about the home team. Because I'm guessing home team as in like California. I don't know. Elizabeth has a high rewatch value for me. I've watched The Hunger Games so many times. Elizabeth. Hey Google, what is the movie Elizabeth? Elizabeth. Upon ascending to the throne, Elizabeth faces many challenges during her reign over England. Amidst the political, administrative, 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 administrative. Why can't I read words? Administrative, administrative. I'm getting brain damaged. Administrative and personal issues, she struggles to learn to be a monarch. So this is actually about Queen Lizzie, I'm guessing. How about that? It was born. It was born. It was made or released the year I was born. Looks like an interesting one. Has good ratings. The To Doers is my background TV show, so Lord knows how many times I've watched that show. I've watched Moulin Rouge a ridiculous amounts of time, singing along every time. I haven't seen Moulin Rouge. I've heard people suggest I should watch Moulin Rouge, but I haven't gotten to it. You think I should watch Moulin Rouge? Shan? You think that's a good one? Heather again, sending you lovin's. Good morning to you, friend. Joy Vive, I prefer Divergent to Hunger Games, but I very much enjoy both. The Hunger Games audiobooks are excellent. This makes me like one of my favorite audiobooks is Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Like I watched the movie first and then I listened to the book during my cooking in China where I would like put the book on and I would cook myself food and that was like my combo. I was going to listen to this book while cooking for myself. And that book still affects the way that I think about the world. How to ask the right questions. Asking the right questions is more important than the answers you get, as one of the core messages of that book as well. It stays with me. Is this whole scene in the book that is completely omitted from the movie, where the main character, keeps getting transported all over the universe, different time zones and stuff, and for some reason, a spirit kept keep reincarnating in different bodies, and then this dude by chance kept going different places in the universe at different times and killing him over and over again. Kills him as a fly, kills him as a rabbit, making a pouch out of his skin, kills him as a person, kills him as a and then like there's this statue of him with multiple arms killing this dude in multiple different ways, and then he kills him again accidentally. Like this dude tried to kill him and he kills him accidentally, and just like the absurdity of that scene and the fact that it wasn't at all in the movie still stays with me. Like the fact that you could experience something which in your mind is totally random, right? Like you could be teleported across the universe, different time zones, and you're just trying to get by, right? Just trying to survive. Meanwhile, you're literally terrorizing another entity over and over again unknowingly, right? Like that's the absurdity of Infinity. My favorite movie. I always cry at the end every time. I'm guessing that's wait a second. Oh yeah, Moulin Rouge. Me too, every time. Write a story. Whoa, this story you're talking about is an old Chinese one. Yeah. Like very old Chinese one. And then it was basically adapted into this movie. And it was beautifully made. They actually talked about it in the sci fi book called The Three Body Problem, also Chinese. I know the three body problem. Three body problem is a star system, trinary star system where there's three stars oscillating each other, and then there's planets oscillating these stars, causing an extreme amount of instability on the planet's surface, causing the entities that evolved there to become extremely hardened. They're very small as well and very technological, and they live very long, but then they get retired forcefully, terminated if they get too old. Yeah, the three body problem is an interesting one. I was watching The Lord of the Rings last night again. I was actually considering watching The Hobbit, and I was like, nah, I don't think I'm in the Hobbit space of mind right now. Yo, thank you for the love. Giovanna is sending love to our friend, saying hugging and high fives for all of you in the wonderful chat. Thank you, Giovanna, for that. Right, Susanna, grand raising hands. I know I should have showed before yoga. I just lost power. Nani? I know I should have showered before yoga. I just lost power. Is there bad weather on your side, Shan? Do you lose water pressure when the power goes off? Can you shower in the darkness? Fortunately, the water stays warm, right? Oh no, is there a storm? I'm curious as well. Shanna, the water should be hot for a little while. This is true. Gladiator, so many times that one. Windstorm going on. Yeah, that could do it. My water doesn't run without electricity, Joe. Ah, yeah. Yeah, pressure pumps. Sending you strength. I'm sorry that you have to be uncomfortable. That's the first thing that comes to my mind, right? The discomfort that you have with not being the way you want to be, clean. The diversity, Shan, that you get to have a day where you're not as clean as you would like to be. Yes, and this is still a novelty. Sending you love, friend. Sending you strength. I hope the power comes back on soon. Okay, my movies are Moulin Rouge, El Dorado, Gang Gang, Arthur, and a Fern Gully. Those are good ones. Man, I'm kind of like intimidated to give a list. There's so many. I wish I could have a list just scrolling down of all of the movies that I've watched so I can read the name and then kind of feel the associated fractal with each one. Maybe at some time I'll give you my list as well. Hate being without water, it sucks. Thank you, Mojo, for sending that, synchronicity and love as well. Jovan saying, I pretty much know the script to The Nightmare Before Christmas, James and the Giant Peach, Lord of the Rings, anything by Wes Anderson. That was true. Hearing you get mad through pronunciations of administrative made me spit my water out. No shade, just so funny for some reason. It's okay, duck that. No shade received. I was like, yes, this is good. I'm supposed to be making mistakes so that I can be diverse. I'm very fallible, very much so. So many rewatchers in the house. Watch it melt. Okay, fine. Maybe I will today. Watch it. Okay. Okay. Yeah, like even Christian and Johan also told me to watch Moulin Rouge, and I was like, yeah, fine. No, I'm gonna watch it. It has to be done. Same here. No water, no power, no water. That sucks. Oh Lord, I have watched Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy so many times. I've also reread the books a few times. They're so good. They're so good. Like really good. Like good in a way that makes you realize how free you are to do things. Love, Death, and Robots is coming to my mind as well. Like that is very much not something that you would want kids to watch, but again, to be able to see how much there is, the capacities that we are capable of. Very much an interesting show to watch as well. Mm-mm. Yeah, I say like Yoda. I'm guessing you're like making a, yeah, why I say like Yoda. Definitely. If I enjoy the movie, I'll watch it over and over, like an excited small child. That makes me happy to hear. I've never actually seen or read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I might have to get on that. Thought that as like something to put on to the side, right? Like just listening to the book while you're filling cups with soil, planting little seedlings, right? 100% recommended. Like you're gonna have a good time, dude. Like that movie starts in this satirical parallel of this dude's house getting demolished, right? And the people demolishing his house being like, "Yeah, oh, this is well known. We've talked about this. It's been in the town hall. You didn't do anything to stop us." And then there's like alien species that's gonna evaporate the entire Earth because it's gonna be a intergalactical highway being built where the Earth is. And y'all, we've like been talking about this for 200 years. All of the plans were like in the galactic HR or whatever, and you human beings didn't do anything about it. So sucks to be you. It sucks to be you. There's Joy V synchronicity between us on that. I think I missed a bit. Oh, the watching the movie again. Yeah, do it, dude. Do it. Yo. Listen, I think listen to the book first, and then you can watch the movie as like a filler. Like the movie, actually, it might not be a bad idea watching the movie first either. Like the way they kind of depicted the depressed robot, I kind of liked it. Like he really is depressed in the book as well. I think I like the way he's depressed more in the book than I did in the movie. But being able to kind of like attach the two fractals to one another was kind of great as well. Dog, when it comes to the watching, the BBC version only. The BBC version of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? I don't even know there were different versions. The newer movie with Martin Freeman has its moments, but it's a pale comparison. How about that? I'm kind of curious if I watched the wrong one now. True Potential? Hello, Melt. Do you still do morning dances? Very nice to see you again, friend. I'm guessing you know me from our pan days. I don't do morning dances anymore. Partially because they would exhaust me, where I would feel a need to go back to sleep during my afternoons. And then that sleep during my afternoons would leave me feeling kind of foggy. And then that foggy feeling would dissipate by the time I would want to go to sleep. And then I would not have comfort sleeping. Then I would still wake up early the next morning. And it would create this vicious cycle. Now, every Wednesday, every Wednesday before the stream officially starts, we dance. We would like to see you one of those Wednesdays, dear friend. Thank you, Joy V, for letting our friend know as well. Documentaries for the win. I agree. I want to read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy first. I like to read fiction and fantasy, but rather watch nonfiction. Documentaries are my favorite. I really like documentaries as well. Documentaries for me is very much like this insight into a world that I don't get to see normally, right? Something that I'm usually unexposed to. I get to be like, oh, wait, there are other ways of being out there. Yeah, Troy Elric. Troy Elric. Oh, wait a second. I do know you. Hey, dear Fred. It's nice seeing you again. How have you been? How's life been treating you? Today's whole stream is about diversity, about the fact that diversity is the thing that is going to unify us, right? Like, we are kind of scattered right now, and we're using diversity, differences, in skin color, in religion, in nationality, in sexual preference, in masculine or feminine, etc., 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 etc. We're using it to divide ourselves right now, and but I believe it's going to be the thing that eventually unites us all, right? When we all realize the same oneness we are, we can start celebrating the differences that we get to be, right? The differences we get to see. And I see you. Thank you for joining me, friend. It's nice having you again. If we had more documentaries in the style of Damn Nature, you crazy, I'd probably watch them. I don't think I've seen the Damn Nature, you crazy documentaries. Have you seen Sir de Franck? Is that what his name is? Hey Google, Sir Franks? Is that what his name is? No. Hey Google, what is that YouTuber who makes kind of satirical documentaries on animals? Yeah, Zifrank. Do you know Zifrank? You would love him, Sam. I don't know if it's gonna be the same fractal as Damn Nature, You Crazy, but Zifrank is a fun dude. I like the way that he expresses. The Fantastic Mr. Fox. That movie messed me up. I watched Fantastic Mr. Fox as like a 6-year old. No, seven, like a 7-year old, and I was not ready. Oh goodness, like it's so uncanny. It's like uncanny even thinking about it. Oh, Jovan, I have watched Nightmare Before Christmas so many times. I'm gonna down my coffee after this. I forget that one, and I totally love James and the Giant Peach too. I don't know if I've seen that one either. Actually, I'm just trying to get this coffee inside my body because the longer I wait, the longer it's gonna stay inside my body. And coffee has a long half life, actually. Thank you, caffeine molecules, for invading my adenosine receptors, plugging all of them up right now, generating more dopamine. Okay, let's get to it. Shan, we have That windstorm coming through today too. Fingers crossed you don't have your power taken. Yeah, Zano, the amount of work put into stop motion animation drives me wild. It's absurd. It's actually absurd. Like watching people, like watching this the like fast forward of the people working to see these little stop motion things, like the behind the scenes, is so crazy. Like absolutely melts my brain. Jovan stop motion has always given me my brain the heebie-jeebies. Mine too, a little bit, like a little bit. But I can kind of look past it, thinking of it like this is stylized. I'm stylizing right now. It's okay. Grocery store today. I'll just oil up extra. Yeah, please do. I actually add some peace and calming to my beard hairs this morning. It's not uncommon for us to lose power where we live because it's in the hills, so it's always a little extra where I am, Doc. I hope it's not too bad for you by the time it gets there. Thank you for that love. I appreciate you seeing the good. Mm, well, it's common. Really, Doc? Maybe that's why I like it. I seem to intrigue by the unsettlingness, the unsettling by things. I feel it's the jerky movement, right? Like we know what it is we're looking at. We know that we're watching people move something frame by frame by frame, and you can kind of see it. So you have to kind of ignore what you're seeing and almost like suspend some of your disbelief so that you can be in that space of mind, right? So you can actually be there for the story. So maybe like there's a thing in that as well. I enjoy W and G claymation movies. Claymation. There's like a I can't remember his name. Hey Google, what is that artist that makes these unsettling claymation videos? There we go. Jack Stauber. Stauber? Jack Stauber? Yeah. Jack Stauber's claymations makes you feel things. Like that's the most recent claymation videos that I've watched. And I watched it as like a mini documentary on his work and the way that he creates and the stories he tries to tell through his work. It's kind of wild. Mm-mm-mm. We have old overhead power lines too, and old dying trees. Yeah, that'll do it. And Lamelt again, love to you, friend. Mojo, my daughter. Love Sean the sheep. It sounds cute. Only on Wednesday. True Pete. This is true. She has impeccable taste. Troy Elric. True potential. It's nice having you here again, friend. Just sending you some love. Manifesting minimal damage for you, Mel. Duck. Mara always freaks out when the wind is bad. She's always worried a tree is going to fall on the house. Shame. Yeah, like watching that down tree, that could have been so much worse. Right? It just goes the other way, other direction, and now there's a tree inside of the house, through the roof and everything. Fortunately, not. Mojo, her favorite is the one where they open a pizza shop on the farm. I've seen it 1,000 times. Hmm. Hmm. Shaun the sheep. I don't think I've. Yeah, I think I have seen Shaun the sheep. Hey Google, can you show me Shaun the sheep? Yeah, I have seen Shaun the Sheep. I've seen it, but I haven't watched it. 6 seasons though. Shaun the Sheep was banging. The wind and the rain are pounding on my front window. Doesn't it feel nice to be inside, safe, warm, when stuff like that happens? Yes, exactly. Beautiful point on how our differences will unite us, right? That we'll realize, hey, if everybody was the same, we'd all might as well just be robots programmed to, serve a function, do this thing and then do this thing every day and then get it done, right? That would suck. That would suck so much. So once we realize, hey, we're here to have an experience, and if we don't have the experience we're supposed to be having, and this person across from me isn't having the experience they're supposed to be having, then there will be a literal your experience size hole in this universe, right? Which is impossible. So if everything needs to be, then everything needs to be. And all we have to do is figure out how to celebrate those differences, how to encourage, how to make the most of it, to realize that it is actually something that makes us stronger as a collective, more creative, not less. I was watching a real good documentary on Nottingham slums in the 1960s yesterday. Watching documentaries on disadvantaged people is something that I don't know why, but I keep exposing myself to just like keep myself painfully aware of the different qualities of life, the reality some people are expected to be with, right? Like yesterday, I watched a video of a scavenger, they call themselves. These people that work on, what do you call them? Waste disposal sites, I guess. And they collect different things, plastics or electronics or, wire or stuff like that. And they earn more money picking trash than they do working in the rice fields like they used to. And then hearing this dude literally use the words, I thank God for trash, right? And watching them pray before they go and pick trash so they can find good trash. It melted my brain. Where here are people literally picking trash for a living, making more money than they used to farming, and at the same time being so grateful, you know, like more grateful than I think I am sometimes. And I really try to be grateful as much as I can be. It's good to remind ourselves of documentaries like that, I agree. Shan, same to you. Don't tell Duckling that trees can fall on houses, or I'll have that too. Yeah, no. Trees don't fall on houses. That's impossible. I don't say a word. Check out True Facts on YouTube. You want comedic yet educational. Yes, True Facts by Zifrank. Exactly. I don't know if you said that, Jovan, before I mentioned Zifrank, but yeah, his videos are really entertaining. I really like them. Well, great. Now every time I consume caffeine, I'm going to have that little song stuck in my head. Adenosine molecules invading my brain, stuck in my receptors, pushing everything away. Give me dopamine. If any of you listen to podcasts, I recommend Behind the Bastards. Super great and funny explanation of history. That sounds pretty cool, actually. My preference in podcasts tend to be like the Andrew Huberman podcast. He's like high on my list. Lex is high on my list. Um, Diary of a CEO, I think is his channel name, is also high on my list. Yeah. David Sinclair. I don't think he's doing podcasts right now. Maybe he still is, but I haven't watched one in a while now. But those are some of the ones that I like. Susanna, I have heard great things about it. Dan Carlin, Hardcore History is awesome. His 5-part series on the Mongols was fascinating. Oh, goodness. I can only imagine. Unsettling stop motion. Caroline, yeah, exactly. Amara has been obsessed with Caroline recently, Mojo. The synchronicity, of course. Mao Lao. Sending you love, dear friend. I just rewatched Caroline the other day. It's the best. I crushed Dan Carlin's hardcore history so fast. Good one, Doug. Just gotta check it out. Zano. I remember reading the book Caroline, and then when the movie came out, I saw it in theaters. Hey Google, can you show me the movie Caroline? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Caroline is fire. 2009. Golly, I was 11 when that movie came out. That makes me uncomfortable. Stop it. Stop. Oh, stop it. One of the Melter friends from had a Caroline tattoo. Of course, I wish I could remember who posted it. It was super pretty, of course. Anyone seen Mary and Max? Another stop motion that will make you cry so hard. If you want a movie that will make you cry as well, Mojo, I don't know if you heard me say it, but The Musician's Elephant. The Musician's Elephant. It's a movie on Netflix right now. It's new. That movie is so beautiful and not unsettling. Hey Google, can you show me Mary and Max? I didn't see that one. That looks really interesting. This one looks kind of also stylized, but in a really interesting way. Look at those characters. Mary and Max. I like those ears. I like how the ear makes an ear and then it has like a little sticky, like a little thing that sticks out before the ear actually terminates. Oh, style, yo. People like, and the thing is, someone made a conscious choice to do it that way, right? Like that was part of the style guide. It needed to be exactly the way it was. Is True Facts the one with the goldfish sidekick? No, 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 no. I like that these videos as well. Like I've only watched a few. Like I think I've watched like three, but he also makes interesting videos. It is Shan. I'm gonna have to search for it, Joe. In True Facts, they cover all kinds of different critters. It's brain damage and repairs. Yeah, it's true. It's brain damage. Little bit of brain damage, but it's like good brain damage. Like as Jovan said, it's like a little bit of brain damage and then some repairs because you're still learning things. You are still learning things, but Frank, the dude, kind of like giving the commentary, he's very much adding like his flavor, his satirical perspective, on that whole little fractal. Yeah, my chicken. It's Caroline. Hello, Joy. I'm missing it. I was thinking, why files on YouTube? He had a sidekick talking dogfish. Yeah. Why files? Basically, he talks about obscurities, right? Things that have kind of like been intriguing, like the pyramids, for example. The tools we have right now still can't do some of the things that we know were done when the pyramids were constructed. And then he has this little goldfish that like chirps in. My name is kind of cute. Mary and Max will wreck you. Highly recommended. Mary and Max looks like a nightmare fuel for me. Also, like the black and white aesthetic. I was like, kind of gave me again strawberry strawberry effects. I'm actually, it's actually about diversity and love and loss, not for little kids. Yeah. Coraline. Ah, it's Coraline, not Caroline. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I'm trying to be fine. Thank you for like splitting it. Coraline. My daughter, my daydreams got me lost in the clouds. I need my nightmare fuel for balance. Yes. What I mean for me, nightmare fuel is Love, Death, and Robots. That's like where I get my nightmare fuel from, and maybe like Black Mirror as well. Right? I feel like that nightmare fuel, I brain damage myself with because I watch it from this perspective of like, so this is what we don't want. Good. Okay. Yeah, nice. Maybe we can see these things and make better decisions going into our future. We'll read something worth saying. Yeah, this one. You abide in a timeless state, right? All of diversity, all of infinity existing right now in this moment. And then we'll pull a card. It was so nice having you friends here today. Man, these fractals. Hmm. Let's see. Let's see what card we're gonna pull. I also saw like a bunch of extra 47s, after seeing the 47 off the card yesterday and then going into my psychedelic experience. It was just like 47 after 47. I was like, okay, fine. I get it. I would like sometimes sporadically pause the movie so that I can take a break to breathe or whatever. And then when I go to play it again, I notice that I stopped it at exactly like 47 minutes and then like a timestamp and 47 seconds passed and I'm like, okay, okay. Amara wants me to tell you, Melt, that she is what she is watching and up to. Dude. Love you, Amara. This card is for you. Mm. Jade Meander. Look at them butterflies. Look at that crop formation depiction. Look at those beautiful vines. Purple and light blues. The butterflies are the thing that's melting my brain right now because in that movie I suggested you friends watch, The Musician's Elephant, there's a scene where he made these butterflies out of magic. And like this is not a spoiler. And they're these exact red butterflies. And they're gorgeous. And I'm like, "Urgh." And he was like not impressed. He was like, "Oh, that's no use." And I was like, "Kecking. If I could just like magic butterflies into existence, I would just be magicking butterflies into existence. I'd be like, well, sorry, friends, no more streaming for me. I'm gonna be magicking butterflies into existence." And then we have Zano, who actually does that. Agent 47. So many 47s yesterday, right? So many. Abide. I've definitely hit 100 or more times with the Big Lebowski. I've heard. Hey Google, can you show me the Big Lebowski? Yeah, I've seen this movie's kind of like aesthetic. I think is the word I'm trying to use, but I don't think I've actually seen it either. Also, a movie made the year I was born. Two goons mistake the dude Lebowski for a millionaire Lebowski and urinate on his rug. That took a turn. Trying to recompense his rug from the wealthy Lebowski, he gets intertwined in an intricate kidnapping case. That does actually sound like a whole vibe. Dude, me too, Shan. A bunch of 47s. Yeah, I can do that. There we go, Zano. Yes. I don't know if you were like typing that before I said it, but yes. Butterflies and crop formations speaking to me. Again, we did pull it upside down, so I'll read the upside down meaning first. Bro, watch The Big Lebowski. Maybe I'll watch The Big Lebowski and Moulin Rouge back to back. Be like, yeah. And then I'll go to sleep. I'll watch two movies and then I'll sleep. The Dude Abides. The Dude Abides. The Dude Abides. Now I'm like thinking about our beloved. Don't tell me. I didn't forget his name. I'm gonna feel bad. I can see his face. I can see his green screen room. I can see his green screen treadmill. I can see him walking through space. I can see him walking through forests. You know who I'm talking about? That Arpan friend who would run. Maybe one of your friends can let me know. Sending him so much love. I don't know if he's still streaming. I hope so. Man, that rug really tied the room together. The little bites. Oh man, Joe, when I woke up this morning and checked my Fitbit, I had 3, 4, 5 steps and I burned 5, 3, 4 calories. Damn. 234s back to back. One more time, I'll show you friends this card. And then we'll read what it means. Jade Meander. Meandering Jade. Harmony and beauty as the core meaning. Okay, so I'm not supposed to do this, apparently, but I'm gonna read you a bit of my journal. Nope, not the one. This one. Da-da-da-da. Did I write it here? Yeah, here it is. So, harmony and beauty, right? And today's whole stream topic being about diversity and all of us coming together to be unity, right? And I wrote this in my journal today. It is our choice how we want to show up, and showing up for love, beauty, and friendship is what I choose to do. My life will be a spectacular display for how true love is. All I watch and do will serve me so that I can serve the whole. Embedded in this card, actually, the reverse meaning is something is out of sync. Reflect on the flow of your day and see if any adjustment would bring greater harmony. Uh, I did wake up very late because I went to bed very late. And I also technically didn't sleep nearly enough. So I feel like that is a little bit out of sync, but let's go for the main meaning. Going embedded in this card is a beautiful meandering crop formation. The feel of this geometry is similar to the way life force moves through the human energy system. The meandering pathway conveys balance and harmony. Green, excuse me, I'm getting burpy, and that bird is losing its mind. You want to see it? Can you see it? There it is. This little small black speck is making all of that sound. Crazy, huh? Embedded, no, let's start from the beginning. The meandering pathway conveys balance and harmony. Green jade vine and two butterflies amplify the elegance and harmony of the scene. Choosing this card reminds you to notice beauty all around you every day and to take it into your being as one of the ways of creating greater harmony and accord in your life. See how even a stormy day, oh goodness, look at the weather. Look at the weather. Like it's been this way since yesterday. Like when I went into the tripping experience, I was like, oh, is this gonna be the weather tomorrow? Like it is cloudy, right? Just cloudy, not too stormy, but very cloudy. There we go. It's like yeah. See how even a stormy day is filled with splendor. Observe the exquisiteness of any one of your personal sacred objects as if for the first time. This is one of my favorite exercises to do, right? Do you have anything in your home, in your space that you like genuinely love, right? That you've had for a long time? Taking it into your hand and looking at it like for the first time, right? Looking for all of the imperfections, looking for scratches, looking for little dents, and noticing the stories that your mind tells yourself about it, even if those stories are things that have happened to it. Looking at it as if for the first time is an amazing exercise. Give your attention to the harmonies in music and realize you can experience them as multi-dimensional. Notice how even such simple observations transform your perceptions. Hold an awareness of beauty and harmony in your heart long enough to generate a feeling you personally associate with each one. Observe this feeling and realize you can consciously recall it at any time you need a bit of harmony to ease the stress of your day. Walk in beauty and flow with the harmony of the spheres. Yow! Askapow! Musician's Elephant, watch it. Watch it, dude. Do it. Watch it. Do it. Love is true. Man who stare at goats was good too. You've been sleepwalking again, Shan. Yes, Joe, the man who stare at goats. I'm always sending y'all love throughout the day, and it's always received. Thank you, Jovan. Like I'm curious about how many times I think about you, friends. You're thinking about me as well, and I'm like, am I thinking about you because you're thinking about me right now, or can you start thinking about me because I'm thinking about you? And then I just kind of like lean into that, think loving thoughts about you, friends. I have to bounce. Cheers, dude. Hope you all have a wondrous 24 hours until we speak again. But we'll be awesome vibes and high fives. Thank you for joining us, Duck Dad. Sending you love, dude. We'll see you again soon. I didn't go to bed till after midnight and had to make a couple of trips up and down the stairs before I could lay down, Joy. Were you like over energized? Like kind of wired? Why aren't you supposed to read us your journal? Can't you do with it what you want? Yeah, I can, but apparently, like in manifestation, reading the things you're trying to manifest, I just got that weird like tuning thing where your ear suddenly tunes into a different frequency where it goes. Wah! That just happened to me as I'm saying these words, and I don't know if it's like trying to call me out, but what I believe, like my limiting belief, is some bullshit or maybe a truth. But apparently, you're not supposed to share the things you write down when you're trying to manifest things or create change. Like I don't know if that's true, but like if there's something that resonates deeply with me that we're talking about in the stream, I'll be more than willing to open the journal and read to you friends too. Thank you for asking, JB. Love you, Doug. Same with the storm friend. Not yeah, yeah, right. And Shan is literally in a storm right now. This card. Are you serious, Mel? Like I'm tripping out as well now. Actually, the fact that you literally got your electricity taken by the storm you're in right now, and then this card is like, yeah, see the splendor, even in the midst of a storm. See the splendor, right? See the splendor of your own diversity, of your own being. Hands folded. It would be joy, thankfully, when I'm all out. I think I missed a bit. Well, that's good when sleepwalking with stairs around us. That's true. Like it's energy. Thank you, Goopy, for sending us yours too. Meander. I love the word and the energy it suggests. Hey Google, define meander. Meander of a river or a road following a winding course. Yeah. I'm just meandering. Why aren't you walking straight? Because I meander. Yeah, I'll remember. It's true to an extent. Maybe a bit more context, Grayson. I always wonder if the ear thing, ping, was a call to awareness. I don't know, what it was. Maybe you're talking it through to an extent about reading the things you write, that you're trying to manifest. Because I feel like it adds a little bit of extra diversity, right? There might, in a weird way, be clarity taken. So, for instance, what I think when I write these things is crystallizing in my mind, right? And this crystallizing of this image in my mind, I believe, will allow me to see it in the future. And then potentially, and I don't know if I believe this, but I could see it as a possibility. Reading it to someone else, every single one of you are going to have a fractal of your own, potentially creating more dissonance in what it is I'm trying to manifest, right? Like I, for instance, might say something like, I want to manifest an electric van. That's like the big purchase, like $100,000 purchase of like 5 years in the future or something, right? Cameras for the short term, and then eventually a place to live that charges with the sun, in the long term. But in saying that, right, just saying something as simple as electric van, that creates a different image in every single one of our minds of what that is supposed to look like. And that could potentially cause dissonance in the manifestation process. I don't really believe it does to some extent because I believe we're actively manifesting the future that we want, right? So I think that power can be something used for good. This collective ability, this diversity of ideas for us to create the future that we all want to live in, right? That if I was the only one capable of manifesting a future for us, I would manifest the ideal future for myself, and that might not be the ideal future for other people. So, the fact that we're all manifesting our futures together means that we'll all get to experience our futures together, lovingly so. Mm-hmm. Just got the ear thing. I don't know. Sound like you. You're. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I don't know. Sounds like you're not supposed to tell your birthday wish, or it won't come true, Fractal. Yeah. So, like, I shared the way that I see it, but that's just a perspective. It's not necessarily true. It's storming and flooding here and there, and Shan and Joyce too, right? So many storms. Are you experiencing the splendor? We're all connected. We're all connected on an energetic level. So we have the ability to interact with each other's energetic fields. This is, I believe, as well. With that being said, the butterfly effect needs to be taken into consideration. Exactly. Nah, finally got some proper spring sun, but it's supposed to be stormy again next week, and we need this bit of sun to dry out over here. I heard that it's hot. Like, people are like, is this even California right now? Where are we? Okay, I wasn't gonna say nothing, but when you said you were sending strength to Shan after talking about trees falling, the camera flickered at the same moment that you said it. Hmm. Well, like, we're connected, friends. Like, for instance, oh goodness. Do I want to show you? Yeah, I will. I will. I'm gonna show you both. So this morning, our beloved Christian posted this 4 hours ago, right? So not even this morning, like literally 4 hours ago, he posted his poem and this little snippet at the bottom. So I'll read the poem first. It goes, "The universe in a dinner dish. Never did I think I'd find it there, but with plate now bare, I dare to say, I don't think this is fair. To have a taste of the explosive colors that brought us the Big Bang in the bite on the tip of a fork. To know the love of mothers, to hear how angels sang in the sharp pop of a cork. To have it end like all things is a sin most vile, but to have felt the joy it brings gifts me a true smile. And for a while, I will pile more miracles on my plate, hoping no one will notice just how much I ate." I broke my fast last night. I told you, friends, that I was cooking myself like a brothy chicken dish with like uh, pumpkin and onions and tomato and carrots. It was a whole vibe. And then he adds this little snippet at the bottom going, "Some believe that we are alive for the sake of eating. Others interpret it as eating for the sake of staying alive. Whatever your preference, it is undeniable that food is a god. It gives us life and sometimes even meaning. How important it is to relish in it and spoil your palate with naught but the finest cuisines and drinks. If there is ever a goal to strive towards, it is to eat good." Right? And this is literally as I went through this experience last night of absolutely tripping balls. And then cooking, right? Like, cooking while you're tripping, I don't know if I'd recommend it, because there's like a level of dissociation that happens where you're like, what am I actually doing right now? Right? But this fractal that he was sharing about it being divine, being able to create these cuisines. Look at this, right? So this is where my mind went. Obviously, if you're tripping, turbulence becomes even more beautiful. And then, because of the added psychedelic effect of the tripping, plus me cooking myself some food, let me get myself a spoon. Look at this. This is my broth. And like them swirls. I was like encapsulated, fascinated by those swirls last night. I still am. I love turbulence. There's few things that make me as happy as turbulence. My Jupiter painting as well. And then, the good food fractal. You lovins? You want some lovins, kitty? Yeah, you want some lovins? Hmm? Want some meow, meow? Hmm? Want some meow? Okay, come. Here's your baby. Here's your move dash. I like your spoon, Mel. It's cool, right? Has like little infinities, little little braiding back and forth. You're paying attention. A poem about nyums, right? A poem about nyums. After I break my 3 day fast to eat like a healthy vegetable and chicken based brothy soup. I was like, yeah, yeah, Christian. Yeah. Of course you know it, dude. I'm happy to share that with your friends as well. Mm. So again, to connect to Grace Hand's Fractal Love, we're all connected, right? Like the fact that Christian chooses out of all of the poems that he has written to post that exact one after I went through a fractal of cooking myself a good meal and having the time of my life, tripping out and eating what I know is good food. Pippi is like trying to play. You want to play? Want to play? You know, playtime? You have a tick? Yeah, you do. Stop eating me. Stop eating me, you silly thing. Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly, Mal. I thought that you would probably understand what I was trying to talk about. Mm-hmm. Yes, Grace. I was just trying to explain yesterday. I believe we exchange energy with one another in our interactions, in communication, or in physical touch, in everything. You understand, Mal. Thank you, Grace. I try. I really try. I've added drops. I've added remedy drops to this bottle. I was trying to take a video for you, Shan. I keep the bottle empty, and then I lift the dropper up, and then I drop the drops, boing, boing, and then it makes this little boing, boing, and I think about the extra frequencies added to the water in that. Mm, some interactions allow for more energetic exchange. I can't wait for your dreams to come true without wanting them for myself. Like living in a van down by a river ain't my dream, but I can support you in your dream. And you do, Joy Leaf. And I thank you for doing that. Right? Again, the topic of diversity, right? The fact that I'll get to experience living in a van and I'll get to share that experience of living in a van with you friends without you needing to live in a van, right? And you get to have the experience vicariously through me of living in a van without needing to yourself. And if we can realize that that is what we're trying to do, that we're not trying to demonize each other for having one experience or another, but that we're trying to celebrate one another for having an experience at all, I feel that's where our strength's gonna come from. It's where if you replay that one thing, it almost looks like Melt is working with tree energy to send it to Shan. Goodness. Like I'm tripping out about what you friends saw. Thank you again, Zana, for sharing that with me. Energy exchange, the connectedness freaks me out sometimes. It can be unsettling, Esrog, because it makes you kind of realize that you're not alone, right? In a way that you would like to believe you're alone, right? Your thoughts. We believe our thoughts to be private, right? They're not. Like we're experiencing those thoughts in the same mental space, if you will. And then you can hear someone else have the exact same thought that you do, synchronistically with you having those thoughts as well. And you're like, excuse me, what? And you can either take that as like, how dare you invade my brain space? Or you can be like, wow, me and you aren't that different. How about that? Right? Kind of like the other side of the diversity today. Ja, Bavariav, Devi. I don't know what those words mean. Yeah, I'm curious as well, Joy. Christian, what a freaking artist, wordsmithing, right? Man, I love him. I sent him like a whole voice note. I was like, yeah, of course you're in tune. That's so wild, Susanna. I'm tripping out, especially with the sound of the alert on my phone and Amara's phone that went off literally seconds before Melt's ears started ringing. The fractals, the poem about nubs. It's the acid Melt took. He's more powerful now. Yeah, exactly. That's how it works. Like so I'm not actually joking when I say I believe that. So the reason I take LSD is like again, and I said it at the start of the stream, like crystallization, where I feel we keep going through things and we do things, we make decisions, we, you know, choose one option or another, and then a psychedelic experience usually allows me to take a step back and then watch all of these experiences, right? Like I'm like, oh wait, look at that, all of these things that I've done, and then I get to kind of be from that extra perspective reevaluate what I'm doing and what I'm supposed to continue doing. and then I almost like melt a part of myself, the things that I know I'm supposed to be doing. And I specifically do it with this idea, feeling, intention, I think is the right word, of upgrading my DNA, right? Demethylizing. Dem- you have these methyl groups that connect to the outside of your DNA, switching on or switching off different gene expressions. And I kind of like I had this whole visualization, meditating as well, of DNA kind of looking all jaggedy and broken and kind of like rusted. Rusted was the word came to my mind when I saw it, and then it getting like wow, and then like this light shining through it and it becoming like its pure form again. And I was like, yeah, 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 the power, the power. The cat is skin and bones. Like she doesn't want to eat more. Right? She has more than enough food. She's a skinny kitty. She's very much a skinny kitty. She's happy though, JB. Like I don't know if she's feeling sorry for herself. Cute cat. The last trip, I got all guilt ridden. You see, were you doing things that made you feel guilty, or have you done things that made you feel guilty? Is it far in the past or recent in the past for you, Maula? The more you understand the connection between everything, you see synchronicities everywhere. And it is. I'm such a sucker for those kind of topics, Grace. Me too. I love it. I love that, Mel. Good job for being consistent with them. Thank you, Shan. Seriously, thank you. I appreciate that more than I can say. Mm-hmm. SNL Chris Farley reference high fives. Yes, Grace. So trippy. Joy V. Joe. Oh, Joy V. It means victory. Let's read it again, maybe. Jai by Ravi Devi. Jai by Ravi Devi. Victory. Yeah, I feel it. I think it's hilarious that you were tripping balls and making soup last night, Mel. So I should probably not share this because it's disturbing, but I'm gonna share it anyway. Not only was I making soup, Joy Vive, but I I had pieces of chicken in said soup, and I pressure cooked it for so long that the bones turned into powder, basically, right? Like if you try to take a piece of the chicken out and you try to grip a bone, you would just like pinch through the bone. That's how soft it was. And I was like, oh, I don't know if it's supposed to be that way. And then I decided to take a blender to the whole mess because I was like, well, if I can't get the bones out, I guess I'm gonna make the bones fine. And then I turned my delicious soup into a nightmare fuel. Like my brain was not having a good time tripping out, looking at what I was doing. I was like, I'm fucking up right now, aren't I? And then I had like a sieve where I would like put the goop in, and then I would like ladle a spoon in the sieve until there was only like a brown paste left over, and all of the good juices was like seeping through. And I was like doing that for like an hour and a half yesterday, tripping out, making soup, and I was like, this feels. I had to like, I had some level of dissociation. I was like so grateful to them chickens. I still am. I'm looking forward to the rest of that broth actually. V for Victory, V for Vendetta, one of my favorite movies as well. Bavai, Bahai Ravi is feminine and exuberance. I am feminine and exuberant. Perhaps I should change my name. If not, why not? Joy Vive by Vari. It sounds kind of nice, actually. I'm doing pretty well. Happy to hear it, Mahala. Oops, Dusty. Chickens. Yeah, yeah. I'd eat it. It was like the broth that I extracted from that goop is amazing, right? Like as soon as it touches your tongue, your entire body like lets you know like yes, mm, whatever's happening right now, good job. Yeah, good job. Good job. Like, So, oh man, I shouldn't share these things because it's embarrassing, but I'll do it anyway because I don't mind being embarrassed. So, it went like this, right? I made the soup. I broke my fast around like 12 p.m. Around 12 p.m. This was like after I was very viscerally in the trip. It was after I watched The Musician's Elephant, and I was like, and there was like a theme of hunger in that movie, like a deep theme of hunger and almost like suffering hunger in that movie as well. And I was like, I fasted for 3 days to watch this experience right now, and they're like touching on this exact point that I'm so sensitive on. So after watching that, I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna feed myself, ground myself a little bit again. So I ate like without the blending experience, just the soup, just like that, and it was great. And then I kind of like wanted it to be warmer again because it was cooling down. Hello, Pepe. I see you have a tick on your thumb. It was cooling down again, so I added some heat, and then the added heat made the bones extremely brittle. So I blended it, and then I extracted some juice, and then I made myself another meal using the broth, and then I finished that meal, and then I went back to it. And you saw that pot full of broth. It used to be almost twice as full, and I took that pot in my hands and I put it to my face, and I started drinking it like water. I'm a person, okay? I drink broth sometimes. Yes. And it was amazing. My body feels super powered. Mel's recipe for chicken, molecule soup. Yeah. It's starting to rain. I'm going to move. I'm gonna drink this water first because it has remedy in it. That discomfort you get in your tummy sometimes if you drink too fast. Especially since I just talked about the bone broth drinking. I think it's because it's cold. Bone marrow is good for you and yummers. This is true. High in collagen, exactly. Chicken prayer. Ton of minerals in the bone stuff, yeah. Like my body feels good having done that chicken smoothie. I'm gonna get these things into the dry. Into the dry for mine. You silly girl. You silly. Were you being silly? Were you silly thing? Yeah, you can see them droplets of waters. Not exactly a storm. You silly creature of mine. Okay. Get this level. Sick. Mel, you tell funny stories. Thank you, Mel. I'm trying to get better at it, seriously. Like storytelling is, I feel like one of the skills I'm actually lacking in. Like I want to get really good at telling stories. Like, and I noticed the importance of telling stories, especially yesterday, watching that movie, Over the Moon, where I was like, huh. Ton of minerals and bones and stuff, so maybe not yum. Very yum and healthy. It was like very like I'm thinking about that broth right now. Just put potatoes and onions in it. Bone broth is good for you. Very so. Very much so. I would also make a pretty fair ramen noodle base. That's exactly what I do. That's exactly what I do. So I take that broth and then instead of using water to make my noodles soft, I use that broth. So and it's fire, straight up fire. Mel's recipe for chicken molecule soup. Yo, well, thank you again, Mel. Wow, Mel, that's actually amazing. I think that's a fun experience. I felt like something I could easily do. I feel like that's something I could easily do on acid. It was it was very visceral, you know. I kind of like had this moment of really tuning into the importance of food, the importance of cooking for yourself, the importance of eating good, you know, and how your body responds, especially being on LSD, to the sustenance after you fasted for 3 days up to that moment. Like my body was grateful, like grateful. So much dopamine. Melt, if I type it a fourth time, will you answer? Bone marrow is good for you and yummers. Good, Joe. Happy to hear. Female and exuberant. Hilarious. Making soup. I don't know what you typed. I don't think I see it, Joy V. So please do ask a fourth time. I would appreciate it. You don't know how good you are at it already, I feel. About the storytelling? Maybe. Maybe it's just the fascination I have with stories, right? Like I've had so many beautiful stories told to me. And it's like the whole fractal of I've seen, you know, just for example, this movie I watched yesterday, The Musician's Elephant. Would I be able to tell a story like that? I don't know. I fell in love with the storyteller. Like the storyteller in that movie feels like the person I'm supposed to marry. I'm like, yeah, I'm supposed to marry a fortune teller. Does anyone here know if you can buy weed in Hawaii for recreational use, or does it need to be medical reasons? Hey Google, can you buy weed in Hawaii? Cannabis in Hawaii is illegal for recreational use, but decriminalized for possession of 3 grams or less. Medical use has legalized passed in 2000. Yeah, so you can. Technically, it's not for recreational use, but if they decriminalized it, you'll be able to find it. I'm pretty sure. Good luck to you, Nancy, on your hunting. Did you sit at the table? Eating nicely makes the niceness stick around. I did. I did sit at the table. It was nice. Right? I wasn't sitting at the table when I was drinking the broth straight from the pot. No, that was like over the. Again, it was like this weird kind of. I had this feeling, right? That's what my mind was going through. I had this feeling of, I would like to, and I'm still I have that feeling. I would like to get all of that good stuff that I extracted into my body, right? And then I kind of like imagine, oh, you see, this stuff is so good for me. I might as well drink it. And then I went back to the kitchen and I standed in front of the pot and I saw those magical swirls and it felt like power I was looking into. And then I picked up the pot and I started drinking it. And I took like 5, 6, 7 full gulps. And then I was like, I should stop doing this. And then I put it down. And I actually said out loud, well, that's one way to do it. That's definitely one way to do it. Oh my goodness, I brought weed off people to Hawaii. Yeah, you should be able to joke even now. Thank you, Nancy. I was thinking of a dispensary. Probably not. I saw 0 dispensaries when I was in Kona last year. I have never been myself, unfortunately. I appreciate you friends for joining me. Thank you for creating diversity just by existing, right? Your experience is worthy. If there is no you experiencing the you you are, then there would be a you-sized hole in the universe. So remember, you are powerful. You are worthy of love. You skipped it again. Your question is not coming through, Joyviv. Whatever you're asking me clearly is getting like shadow banned or something. I'll wait. I'm waiting for the 5th time. Yeah, it's not showing up. We're not seeing it, Joy. I haven't read your comment once. Yeah, I'm happy universe. Yeah, you inverse, right? There's the you that you think you are, and then there is the you that you don't think you are. You know, the everything else. But that is you inverse, right? The infinity symbol, you being one side, and then the other side being the world. You know, you inverse. That's so weird. Boom. Send it to me on Discord, and I'll read it there or something. Send it in pieces, Joy. You inverse. There we go. Yeah, Grace hand knows as well. Have you watched Oats Studios? Yes, I have. Like, I think the first episode. It's on Netflix. That's the question you were asking? I think I did. It's also kind of like a Black Mirror slash Love, Death and Robots kind of stylized, series, I believe. I don't understand why your comments weren't coming through though. Because I can see some of them, right? Most of them, in fact. Why would I not be able to see the exact same question you were asking? Maybe there was some sort of weirdness with YouTube not wanting you to suggest content to me that would take you friends off of YouTube. Yes, that question, can't imagine why YouTube would block that. That's the only reason I can think is like, so YouTube has an incentive, or what's the word? Uh, Come on. I guess incentive is the right word. YouTube has an incentive to keep you on their platform, right? They don't want you to leave. They want you to spend all of your time always on YouTube because that's how they make money. So you suggesting a show on another platform might be a threat to them or something. I don't know. Thanks, Shan, for suggesting I break it up. Thank you for doing that. Next, yeah, you see, Susanna knows as well. I love you, friends. Thank you for spending this moment with me. Again, celebrate your diversity. Being different is not a bad thing. We need you exactly as you are. Melt 24/7. Yes. Melt away the things that do not serve you and melt more into this experience. Continue. I'll see you again soon. I love you. What's the most at message? That's why most ad messages get blocked. Yeah. Dirty, big companies hitting below the belt. They do because they profit from doing that, unfortunately. Go watch Big Lebowski. Big Lebowski and Moulin Rouge. I'm gonna go and put it inside of my brain so I can share fractals with you friends. And we see, yeah, Zano, thank you. I love you, friends. Taking your face and going. It's like Mel, that's a bit aggressive, please. Thank you for joining me, friends. Until tomorrow, have the most beautifulest day, everyone. I sincerely love you all so very super much dearly. Melt and all of you, absolutely wonderful and lovely of loveliest friends. As we love you, our dear Shan, Jovi, love you all the mostest. Thank you. Ezra, you as well, friend. Any of you friends that I'm not saying love you individually too, I love you too. And I'll see you again soon. Cheers. Goodbye, everyone.